Hey everybody, it's Curdy, and this is episode 2 of my journey through spinning and knitting. I talked a little bit about camping last week, and we hike as well. We actually just got back from a beautiful hike out here on the Key Peninsula, and I'm coming to you from beautiful Pacific Northwest, Puget Sound area, and we live in the trees, and it's so glorious. And I am back coming to you live from my bathroom because the lighting is good. So yes, eventually I'm going to have a more professional setup, but for now, you're here for the spinning content. So anyway, we just finished week 1 of Tour de Fleece. And if you don't know what Tour de Fleece is, which I know many of the people who watched my video, thank you very much, my first video, it was not well explained by me, but Tour de Fleece takes place during the same time span as Tour de France, and spinners from all over the world come together online, in forums, and in Ravelry, and we as groups of spinners spin to our heart's content. It's great. And some people watch the Tour de France while they're spinning. And I'm involved with 2 groups. So Melly Knits, it's one out of British Columbia, Canada. And this is the Stash Dashers. And so we are stashing down. That's one of our goals for spinning. And during this July 4th through July 26th, 23-day period. And the other one is through Darn Knit Anyway out of Stillwater, Minnesota. I'm part of their breed study where I get a new single breed of the month fiber to spin. And so I decided to join their Tour de Fleece group, and we're on Facebook and we're updating each other daily. So my goal for this 23-day period of Tour de Fleece is to spin 50 grams of fiber per day to stash down. And I made it, but just barely. So I actually was able to spin on average about a little over 51 grams per day, which is fantastic. I hit my goal last week. So one of the reasons I was able to do that is because I actually got ahead last weekend when we were camping. And so I was able to spin 126 grams on Saturday, the first day, and then on the second day, 96 grams. So I spun a total of 411 grams in 7 days. And this is just taking a little bit of time during the day to spin, and minutes here and there, and then also spinning in the evenings when we chillax and watch TV. So I thought maybe what I would share with you are the bobbins. So I have spun the singles, and the singles then will get rewound, as I explained last week a little bit, onto 3 different bobbins. So I'll split out, so if it's 100 grams, about 33 grams on each bobbin, and then I will 3-ply them. I really enjoy a 3-ply or a chain ply, which kind of gives a faux 3-ply look. But I wanted to show you what I was able to spin. So from here on out, I will spin on top of these bobbins because these are jumbo bobbins for my Ashford wheels. I have an Ashford Traveler 3 that is a traditional double treadle wheel, and then I have an Ashford E-Spinner 3. And these jumbo bobbins fit both, and they hold about 8 ounces of fiber on a full bobbin. So what I do is I just stack spins on top of each other, and then, like I said, I go back, rewind them onto other bobbins, and then it looks like something bit me. Like a little bug on our hike. So I'm gonna worry that little itchy spot. So I'm gonna go through each of the spins that I completed this week. And this is the rainbow bat that my sister got me when she was in California. She was in San Francisco. This was for my birthday, and I promised I wasn't going to be as crinkly this time, so I'm going to do one little crinkle my apologies. This is Heathered Yarn Company, who I tagged when I finished this bobbin. And this was about, looks like 110 grams. As you can see, I mean, it is just full of color. I had done a test spin of this, and it's got sparkle in it. It has multiple different fibers in it and different wools, and it is going to be so fun, like a carnival. So I finished spinning the singles of this Blue-Faced Leicester roving 111 grams. This is from Longway Homestead up in Manitoba, Canada. This is a bobbin. Again, this is how full I fill them. This I could have even filled a little bit more. So this has 2 spins underneath that I had started and finished prior to the beginning of Tour de Fleece. But on top here is a merino silk bamboo that I took merino raw wool fiber and some silk and bamboo, and I blended this on my Ashford blending board. It was about 26 grams. And so I've spun that single up. That was my little snack size to get started on the first day. And then this is a border Leicester, Blue-Faced Leicester wool cross that I mentioned, that I purchased at Seattle Flock and Fiber last year. And this one was 99 grams. It's going to be super squishy and lovely. So that's what I was able to accomplish during my first week. I'm very, very proud of myself. And now I want to talk a little bit about what am I making with my hand spun yarn. So this here is a beautiful fractal spin that I did from fiber, Polworth, 80% Polworth, 20% silk fiber that was hand dyed by Heidi, who owns the Artful EWE, up in Port Gamble, Washington. And then I used a commercial yarn for the main body color. So something I can spin with my hand spun, knit with my hand spun. And this pattern is called Alpine Bloom. It's by Caitlin Hunter. I knit 2 of these. This one has a hand spun that I spun. It was actually one of my first spins that I did after I got my electric wheel. I got the fiber from Greenwood Fiberworks. It was one of the flowers of the month. So it was daffodil for the month of March last year in 2025. And I purchased some Surrey alpaca in a similar kind of salmon pink color to hold with it. And so it gives us this really cool halo, this like a fuzziness from the Surrey alpaca. And again, that's another Alpine Bloom from Caitlin Hunter. This is a combo spin I did. I know I've talked a little bit about this one. This was 3 different merino hand-dyed braids. Where's the bird? Hand-dyed braids. And I spun each of the braids onto 3 different bobbins, and then I 3-plied them together, and then I knit up this beautiful floodlight tee by Tanis Fiber Arts. So those are some examples of what I've been doing with my hand spun. And then I've got some things coming up. So this fiber is from Bellweather Wool. It's a Rommeldale alpaca silk blend that Bellweather Wool is out of Oregon, and I purchased this beautiful bat from Red Alder. They had a booth at Red Alder. So it is this amazing kind of rusty brown, and then it has these beautiful flecks of orange from the Sari silk in it. This is the swatch I knit up from it, and this is the cake of yarn that I made. And this is going to be a quiet thicket shawl. So it's a bandana type shawl, and I'm learning how to video edit, so please bear with me. I'm going to put a link in the description of this video so that you can go and look on Ravelry and see this beautiful shawl. It's by Stephanie Lotven, and it's called Quiet Thicket. and I'm using the shape of it. So that is actually a color work shawl, but I'm just using the shape of it and the pattern to create a shawl for someone very special and knitworthy. I'm super excited about that. And then same Quiet Thicket, I'm actually going to be using these two yarns that I spun up. So this one I spun up from a bat that I purchased from Four Rivers Yarn and Fiber. She's out of Forks, Washington, and it's called Maples and Moonlight. I already made some fingerless mitts for my sister-in-law out of it because I got 518 yards. It was such an incredible amount of yarn that I was able to get out of this beautiful fiber. And so I am using, again, on the Quiet Thicket pattern, this is going to be the main body color, and then this, I'm going to do the color work in this Corriedale, and this was some Corriedale, carded Corriedale that I spun up from my Breed of the Month club from Darn It Anyway, and it was April's Breed of the Month, and I loved how it turned out. I did swatch both of these, and but I didn't save the swatch. I just ripped it back and wound it back out, or wound it back up. So this is from a spin that I did, again, another Artful You. So Heidi dyed this fiber, and they were all wound up into cakes. I just put this one back in a hank so you could kind of get an idea. It's got like pinks and purples and gray. Turned out amazing. So I had gotten 2 braids. So I got 249 grams for 504 yards, and I'm going to knit a rocket tee from Tanis Fiber Arts, but I'm not going to do the striping that she does in that rocket tee. And I've shown you a couple of mine before. I'm going to just use the shape of the raglan V-neck, and I'm going to make that up. So those are some of the things that I have planned to knit. I still have quite a few works in progress to finish, and a lot of spinning to do to catch up and make sure that I get to my goal of 50 grams per day. So I'm super excited. So I'm going to get back to spinning today. And if you've got any questions for me, or I've, said something that is confusing and don't understand, that's fine too. Just let me know. And I hope there's less crinkling today. So that's going to make my sensory issues feel much calmer. And yeah, I just thank you so much for taking time to watch. If you'd like to know when next videos are coming out, please subscribe. I would love if you'd give me a like. And thank you to everyone who shared my first video. I'm super excited to be doing these and sharing my journey in fiber arts and other things that I'm doing in the world. Again, my name's Curdy. I hope you have a fantastic day, and thanks again for watching.